We cannot solve the problems we have created with the same thinking we used in creating them. Albert Einstein. Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter, and today I would like to run through our team's business model canvas journey. Together with Andrew, Kirsten, Jasmine, and Claudia, we are the Pinnacle Wellness Sanctuary. As business consultants with over 20 years' experience, we are tasked to address the wicked problem utilizing the business model canvas whilst leveraging the design thinking principles. Why does this interest you? Well, throughout our journey, you may uncover opportunities to assist with your journey. This first slide articulates our definition of the wicked problem that we are tasked to solve. I'll read it out. As people enter their 60s, they begin experiencing physical, physiological, cognitive, and social deterioration through situations such as retiring from the workforce, losing loved ones, and natural aging processes. With a clear definition, we are able to target our research to address the wicked problem. To kick off this process, it was really important for the team to understand what the current landscape was. This led to our key learnings from the initial research. This slide is particularly powerful because it visually represents the growing number of Australians moving into the 65 plus bracket against a proportion of the population from 1994 to 2014. The growing concern is that this rate is expected to increase rapidly in the future, highlighting the importance of implementing a sustainable solution, mitigating the impacts. The next step was to understand more on what causes biological aging. To summarize the research the team conducted, it was determined by Hayflick 1997 and Stuart Hamilton 2014, the body cells are not immortal. This statement illustrates that aging is inevitable, indicating that prolonging the aging process is the ideal direction to tackle this problem. To add, we have listed the natural effects of aging, and this is to provide further context into the impact it has on an individual. One effect I would like to call out is the reduced functioning of bodily functions. Something as simple as going to the toilet becomes much more difficult due to the loss of bladder control. This leads into the need for active aging and its significance for the aging population. As stated by WHO 2016, active aging is defined as the process of optimizing opportunities for health, participation, and security in order to enhance quality of life as people age. Fernandez-Ballesteros, 2008, have also provided insights in the positive outputs of active aging. This was the foundation of how we want to tackle the wicked problem. With the research in mind and clear direction, we came up with the initial business idea. This is summarized in 3 key points: to create a facility for formal and informal therapies and medical attention for persons nearing and in the later stage of life, to allow customers to contribute to the programs and leverage the wealth of their knowledge and experience in a relaxed atmosphere with their peers and enhance their lives and those within their network, and treat and educate aging customers in novel, hands-on, and inclusive ways. Design thinking was one of the key methodologies that was used in developing a solution to our wicked problem by combining the various attributes. Customer insights is the voice of the customer, specifically calling out that the problem to solve is derived directly from them. Ideation is the process of exploring multiple ideas and eventually honing into one. Visual thinking is the direct correlation to the business model canvas, visually representing different building blocks and how they interact with each other. Prototyping is the process of refining the business model canvas through peer feedback and iterations. This value-added approach provides the opportunity to review the issue from different perspectives, allowing one to delve into the problem and find out the root cause. This slide leads into our prototyping and our initial business model canvas. The business model canvas is broken into 9 segments, each segment representing a building block for its activities. I'll briefly run through each block and what it means for Pinnacle Wellness Sanctuary. I'll start from right to left. Customer segments has been defined for ages 60 plus Australians, for men and women, and for all who would like to use the service. The key call out here is that we have decided with a broader market to help as many people as possible. Customer relationship. Through personal assistance and co-creation, we've also discussed the option of utilizing courtesy buses. Channels, access the market through multiple areas, for example, GPs, social media. The key value proposition: providing physical, mental, and social support to the growing mature age population, a convenient, safe, and inviting place away from home to discuss ways to actually improve health. Key activities include things like cooking classes, social outings, specialist services. We have our key resources, which is the physical area for cooking and other activities, the specialists that come through, and the location of the centre. The key partners will vary from owners, hospitals, governments of all levels, and health insurance companies. For our cost structure, it covers employees, specialists, equipment, the food ingredients that could be subsidised by key partners, the vehicle and its maintenance, and also marketing. And finally, we've got the revenue stream. The three key areas that we've called out here are the government grants, membership, and rebates from private health insurance. We then move into the learnings thus far. The process behind this was an open-minded discussion by exploring all possible ideas that could fit within the initial business idea. These were value proposition. The use of mental may not have been accurate, so we've replaced with cognitive. Customer segments. Different age groups may have different usage requirements. Customer relationships. Personal assistance and co-creation need the further explaining, so they were very broad statements. Key partners and cost structure. Health and medical supplies were missing. For our key activities, the business development activity was missing. Key resources. A low cost but valuable feature missing from the offering. Revenue streams. A bit vague and needed greater explanation. With these learnings, we were able to update the business model canvas for its first iteration. This model highlights the key changes in red, either by adding more information in, clarifying, or even replacing words. Overall, the business model canvas is refined further to tackle the wicked problem. The next step to refining our business model canvas was to incorporate the key learning derived from our peer feedback and group discussions. To summarize the key learnings, we required slightly more clarification on a few points, review the revenue streams, remove the lap pool due to the availability of public services, and elaborate more on customer co-creation. With these final learnings, we were able to update the business model canvas for its second iteration. Again, this model highlighting the key changes in red, noting very minimal changes required due to the ongoing refinement of the business model canvas. Now, what makes this business different? Amongst all the differentiators highlighted on this slide, the biggest is that many wellness centers are actually targeted to younger aged people and are often only for a day or up to 1 week getaways. This sanctuary is targeted to the older age group and available for longer periods of time. Co-creation is another point of difference. It adds a personalized and unique experience for members. Well, what is customer co-creation? Glad you asked. It is member-driven engagement. For example, someone who had passion facilitating can run a session on a topic they feel resonates within the group, or someone who is a dressmaker can run a sewing class. It is really members contributing to the services that are provided through the centre. Now that we've established the business model, what are the benefits for the customer and how does that address the wicked problem? Well, there are multiple ways that this sanctuary addresses the wicked problem. For example, with nutrition classes comes healthy eating, counselling services to help in difficult times, and easy access to medical specialists to deliver holistic care. There are loads of benefits that are associated with the Pinnacle Wellness Sanctuary and all address the defined wicked problem. This next slide illustrates the key research questions. It is important to question assumed components of the business model canvas to ensure research is conducted that validates information and provides further context into the areas of focus. We've highlighted 4 key questions: the BMC segment and why the research was done. Before I finalize this presentation, I'd like to touch on the research design component. The methodology is both ontology, constructivism, epistemology, interpretism. These are the 2 that we've looked into. The research method, both qualitative to understand behavior and emotions, quantitative, the use of data, And from a data collection standpoint, we would look to interview, complete surveys, and create focus groups. Research objectives, target population, and sampling have also been identified. This was undertaken to outline the scope of the research, and as illustrated, the target population included residents over 60 years of age, mix of working and retired, and the sample size is approximately 270 people using simple random sample. Finally, we've highlighted the methods of the data analysis and threats to the validity and reliability of the research. It is important to acknowledge where there may be weaknesses in the approach taken, as it may reflect accuracy of the research. And as you can see, the threats: sample size too small, sample is too random, sample is not representative of the total population, too many people sampled still in the workforce full time. These last two slides are references that we used to source information that went into this presentation. Thank you all for listening, and we welcome your feedback.